Welcome to the AFC East Shakedown. I'm your host, Tommy, and joining me is Curtis from Ace Per Head, Juan, and Captain D. Oh, Captain D, boy, this is going to be the show for you. And Curtis, always happy about his Miami Dolphins. He's ready to just...
Oh, I'm joyous, man.
He's just
skipping my step.
Yeah, he's ready to give all the praise and glory to the Miami Dolphins. All right, so Anthony's running a little late. He'll be on about 10, 15 minutes late. So we'll hold his Jets stuff because, boy, I'm sure he has a lot of great Jets talk for us today. So Scott Blakely in the house. What's going on, Scott?
Scott.
What's up, Scott?
Scott in the building. All right, guys. So let's get to the games from last week. Dolphins, Bills. Let's do it.
We can. All right, glad you're having a good time, Tommy.
Gotta go, guys. All right. Wait a minute. Look who's in the bag. That's Anthony.
Hey,
that ain't
Hey.
I made it on time.
Hey.
Well, 2 minutes late. A little ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we'll forgive you. You were having breakfast
Anthony,
for Fireman Head.
An accent over here. Where's your accent to make me not look so bad?
Yeah, hey.
I'm second generation, so my father's got a deep accent. I'll tell you that. He's got a deep Italian accent.
Oh, I'm not Italian. I just got that thing, man. Mm-hmm. It's like roaches. You try to get rid of it, and they just keep coming back. You never get rid of them. I try too, man. I try.
Curtis tries.
I went to an elocution class, man. It didn't work.
By the way,
elocution class.
How's everyone doing?
Did you guys like the cartoon Anthony? I think it's great. Cartoon Anthony I made. It's so great.
It's pretty damn accurate.
Oh, I love it, man. You and Fireman Ed chilling out having breakfast. Oh my God, it's the best. So, man, I'm glad you're here. So we're gonna talk. Let's start with that. The Jets and the Steelers. Oh man, Anthony. What? You had you were hyped up. Your coach was dancing on the sideline.
You mean Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
That happened already.
Yeah. What happened, Anthony? Talk to us, man.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to say about that game is, as close as we were to winning, that is probably one of the most fakest scoreboards I've seen in a very long time. For 3 quarters, we were getting abused by that team. They controlled the entire game. It wasn't until late in the game where Todd Bowles stopped blitzing and played that prevent defense, which all that does is allow teams to kind of march down the field. It just doesn't work.
Fucking kills me.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. The Jets offense was able to score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Then the block punt. I credit the team for fighting back, taking advantage of the game plan in the fourth quarter that Todd Bowles was putting out there.
Whoa, Tommy, you got delivered.
Whoa, look at my man, Callie Blitz. Wow, coming through. Hey, what up, Callie? Callie's my dude, man. The guy's been watching me since day one. Hey, appreciate you, man. What's up, big dog? Tommy, what's up to the panel? Shout out to Bills Mafia. You know what you get for that. You know it's coming. Give me 1 second.
Let's go. Our shakedown budget.
Appreciate you, Callie, as always, man. Thank you so much for coming through, man. So go ahead, Anthony. Sorry about that.
I'll tell you what, for the what he just put down there, you might have to do that horn about 5 more times, 10 more times for real.
Dude, yeah, man. He be getting that horn a lot, bro. He's the man, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, good stuff there. But
thank you, Bob.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this Jets defense, it continues to be the same story week after week. They can't stop anybody. It's becoming very alarming to the point where Steve Wilkes has got to figure something out here. They're just allowing receivers to get wide open down the field, and they're just Brandon Stevens should not be on the field. Michael Clemens should not be on the field. The Jets' depth is really being challenged early in the season, and they have players out there. Stevens was brought in to be a starter, and obviously that was a failed signing. To the point where they're out there making midseason trades for players, which isn't a common thing for and they're getting good value for these players, but this defense is just alarmingly bad. And the offense outside of Garrett Wilson, there's nobody you fear. Even Breece Hall, to some extent, isn't the player he was as a rookie, isn't the player he was in his second year coming off his ACL. Something has turned. I don't know if it's so many years behind a poor offensive line that he's hesitant and not taking advantage of the holes that are there, because there are holes. When you're seeing him run, his vision isn't, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or what it might be, but offensively, Garrett Wilson, he's having a good year to start the season. But everyone else, I mean, there's no receivers to strike fear. There's no other playmakers out there. Mason Taylor is not, I don't think, getting enough shots downfield and not enough opportunities as a pass catcher. He's getting his fair share. He's playing about 75, 80% of the snaps. So he's definitely out there. But he's a rookie tight end. So that's always hard to acclimate, because you have to kind of establish yourself as a blocker. And then obviously the passing kind of opens up down, as you get more comfortable there. So we always looked at him as a player that's a work in progress. But this Bucs game, I mean, again, it just comes down to, it was never really a game. The Bucs let them in there just by their play calling at the end of the game. The refs basically allowed the Jets to get in there. I mean, the Bucs had friggin' flags thrown their way after every single play. You would have thought they were the road team. There was even a play late in the game where Baker hit Ibuka on the sideline, and from my eyes, I thought it was a catch. The refs called it incomplete. Todd Bowles even wasted a timeout to give the refs more time, because it was under 2 minutes, to figure, okay, are you guys going to challenge this thing? And they never end up challenging it or reviewing it. But if you look at that highlight, about 1:30 left in the game, Ibuka makes a sideline catch, should have been reviewed and should have been ruled a catch. There's just so much happening around this Jets defense that there's no – I don't know the victories that are coming if they just can't stop anybody. So that's my biggest concern with that game. It's just it was such a mirage. It was such a fake final score line. Again, give credit to the team for fighting back, but it was not as close as the end result really pictures it out to be.
All right. There's Cartoon Anthony right there, by the way, right there below you.
There he is.
There he is. Look at him. He's like, oh, fucking Jets. All right. Scott wants to know what's up with your coach galloping down the sideline.
Listen,
to let the Alabama marching band. I thought it was pretty cool. Nothing wrong with that, Scott.
There's a lot of
alone.
There's a lot of mixed opinions on the whole, him dancing on the sideline, whatever the case may be. But he was the same guy as a player. He was up on down the sideline. He put his emotions on the field. So I have no problem with him being that way. I think his player just blocked the field goal and returned it for a touchdown. Of course, he's gonna be excited. He's gonna be pumped. But at the end of the day, you still have 1:30 left to play, and your defense hasn't been able to stop a nosebleed all season long. I think maybe a little hesitant on that, but I have no issue with him being pumped up on the sideline. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this is a joke. This guy's a clown." Are you kidding me? You don't want coaches to be excited when their team makes a play? We bitch and moaned about friggin' Robert Saleh being a friggin' statue on the sideline when he was a defense coordinator. He was always being jacked up, pumped. That's what we wanted to see out of Saleh. Now that Aaron Glenn's doing it, we're going to complain because you think it's a joke, and you think it's just. You're never going to make some people happy sometimes.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
No matter what, you're going to find the issues. People would rather watch friggin' Adam Gase taco memes and friggin' that to be their head coach. Are you kidding me? This guy, he's been there for 3 weeks.
Don't die, Captain DLC. What a choke.
Where is Gase? Get him back on your team already.
Oh my God,
dude, that guy ruled, man. I mean, Vaughn knows, right? That guy was the best. Right, Curtis, right? Captain D, love that.
He did some good things. I mean,
that guy was awesome, man. Leave him alone.
I don't think that the Sam Darnold thing would have ever worked out in New York, but who knows? I kind of attribute the failures of Sam Darnold in New York more to Adam Gase than Sam Darnold. And obviously, you can see what Sam Darnold's turned his career into. The Jets, that was a critical offseason. To bring in Adam Gase to be your quarterback whisperer was the dumbest move they ever made. And look what Sam Darnold's doing now. Again, I don't know if it would have turned out that way if he stayed in New York, but the coaching decision there.
Alex saying he's the GOAT. I'm kind of going with that. They're never going to let you down with the choo-choo. That's going to live forever. And
it'll live forever. And one day it will come back, but it's not coming back.
Jets fans, do they really ever have a reason to be happy? I guess you can view a dumpster fire like a bonfire. Bonfires makes people happy. That is true. Bonfires are marshmallow. Yeah, those are fun. Scott, well,
we don't get to do it too much, but yeah.
Scott says it's like raising kids. You're not designed to be their friend. You're a parent, advisor, and builder. How that work out for McDaniels? Yeah, well, yeah, boy, oh boy. Now they're getting on you guys, Curtis and Kevin.
Hey, listen. Let me hold on. I want to put out a stat
15 minutes late.
Oh, Curtis is mad. Curtis is mad.
I want to put a stat out here.
Curtis took on his rant.
I did a really good podcast, and I've been saying for years, Tommy, the league's moved to pass balance. And all the big think tanks, the real smart people, they've been parsing for years the value of the run game in the new NFL. And really, the majority of them, and it tends to drift highly towards that way, is the attempts. And I did a podcast showing that this year, top 10 teams in rush attempts, 8 out of 10 have winning records. Teams that have bottom 10, they have 8 out of 10 are losing teams. Last year, it shifted hard. In 2023, it started shifting. Well, let's take a look. Indianapolis, Daniels, Crazy Eyes, number 2 in rush attempts. Donald, seeing ghosts, number 4 in rushing attempts. Tampa, Mayfield, 3 teams before he got here, 7th in rushing attempts. And so rushing attempts plays a big deal. Now, Jets, they're averaging 27. They're about 9th. So they've been doing the rushing attack, but they are definitely lacking stuff. And I thought last game they didn't rush the ball enough. I thought they got too happy with the pass game around the second quarter. But if you take a decent quarterback, give him the right framework, and that involves now running the football a lot, you can have success. My team, the Dolphins, we're ranked 32nd. So you can, there's a lot of quarterback. I mean, just think about it. San Fran could have had Purdy and Mayfield, but they moved off them. So did the Panthers. So, and Daniels, he was picked up for a song and a dance. So if you've got the right framework and team, you can, I'm not saying Super Bowl, you're not going to be equal. If he goes against Josh Allen with equal teams, they're going to probably lose. But you can have success. But Gase was a pass-happy guy. Dable with the Giants, pass-happy guy. McDaniel with Tua, pass-happy guy. And so there's a lot of ways the NFL is moving where these elite quarterbacks like the Mahomes and the Allens, you just don't get them too often. But teams are finding ways to have consistency and success through balanced and offenses and a smart approach.
You can go balanced, but you still got to have the quarterback to
Well, we laughed at Mayfield.
But you can't compare Mayfield to Justin
but the
Fields.
Teams that
I'm just saying you still got to have a reliable. You don't have to have a great.
No, I was talking about Darnold. Yeah. If Darnold had stayed,
Darnold, but Darnold, but I also say though sometimes quarterbacks get into certain situations where the coaching staff's not good for them, or they don't surround them with enough talent, or the quarterback coach isn't good.
You got guys like Dable. Remember Dable? Yeah. He wants to look smart. He wants to throw the football, so he's a genius and he gets a head coaching job.
No, I get that, but you still got it. Like I said, though, if sometimes you got to. That it definitely comes into play, but some teams are just quarterback killers. It's not always about just because they don't run the ball. Yeah. I just think certain teams just like the Cleveland, they've been known. No, I get that, but sometimes it's team, coaching too.
You realize how it starts with the GM and then the head coach. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you build? I mean, just look how good Josh Allen was for all those years, and then they dialed him down. Went to pass balance, and the guy's easily the best quarterback now because it enhanced them even further.
Yeah, I get it. I'm with you, but like I said, I think sometimes different coaches, different approach, fresh starts are sometimes certain players need that, and that's just not for quarterbacks. Your receivers, running backs. Sometimes a fresh scenery is just is a good thing. So, but I get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. Juan, what's your thoughts on that Jets game, man?
My biggest thing with it is that all of us in our predictions were technically correct outside of the result. So you and Kevin D was like, "Oh, Tyrod Taylor's going to be ass and not going to be able to do nothing." That's true.
Yeah.
Curtis and I was like, Tampa Bay, they're injured. They could do something stupid that might make them get the game closer than it should be. That happened. It was true. Everything we said happened. It's just that you guys got the result because the Jets defense is hot.
Captain D, high five, man.
It's freaking crazy. Hey, Curtis and I too. High five. You're right.
The Jets defense did do something. I told them to just don't let them score 30 points. They did do that. So it's a little silver lining.
So then you were right yourself.
29 points.
You were all right about what happened. It's crazy. That stuff like that happens in Tampa. That's why it's hard for me to pick him to be like a real contender because I don't like Todd Bowles that much. Like I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's the coach that bring you to the next level to finish it off. And he almost cost them the game with a stupid ass prevent thing. I should do a rant about that because I don't know why teams, especially like early in fourth quarters, love to fall for prevent defense and let teams just go up and down the 20s. I don't understand that shit at all. And that almost cost them the game. It took the Jets not being good on defense to get scored on by Baker Mayfield. Yeah. This is 3 weeks in a row that Baker Mayfield led fourth quarter drives and won it. And won the game. So,
So real quick, Anthony, sorry to cut you off there, Juan. What's your thoughts about Tyrod over obviously he played because of injury, but do you prefer after seeing Tyrod?
They said that Fields is playing, by the way, on Monday.
But I mean, do you feel though he gives you a better do you feel he gives you a better chance of winning is what I'm trying to say? Like, is he, because I feel like he's older, but he's a little bit more balanced as a quarterback in my opinion, but go ahead.
I don't think so. I mean, just watching in the first few quarters, I mean, the blitz was getting there. He's not mobile. So, he's able to get out of the pocket here and there, and that saved him a couple of plays. But, I mean, and maybe it's just a matter of comfortability. He hasn't started a game in a couple of years, I think since the Giants when he was there. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Justin Fields is the guy that's going to give you the best chance because he's fresher, younger, quicker. I mean, that's basically what this Jets team is built around right now, is trying to get, him on the move and making plays while also making plays down the field. I don't know. Tyrod didn't have the deep ball going for him this game. I don't know if it was lack of confidence, which I'm a little shocked. I thought he'd be slinging it and hitting the open guys. There was a few plays where he just kind of, the guy's wide open and he's like hesitant to throw the ball, trying to get out of the pocket. And then that interception was just brutal. There were two guys wide open on that play. And he threw it to Garrett, which was covered completely by Jamil Dean to run it back for a touchdown. At the end of the day, I think Justin Fields does give you the best option. I just thought that the timing of the injury was probably beneficial to the Jets because Justin Fields is also kind of, in that Buffalo game, not seeing the field right. But if he's seeing the field like he did in week 1, I mean, that was an outstanding performance he put out there. If we can get something like that or close to that, on a weekly basis, I think you have a better chance of that being true with Fields and Taylor, just because he's younger. I think that would be the best kind of alternative. But, I mean, I don't know. We got to see Fields. I mean, we got to see what version of Fields we're going to get moving forward. Is it closer to the week 1 performance or closer to the week 2 performance? I hope it's closer to the week 1, but you're probably going to be somewhere in the middle as far as results you're going to get from Fields. But I think he's the better option.
Yeah. I was watching that game. I was doing like an hour, 2 hour red zone live stream. I was bored, and I was like, "Hey, it's my boy Tyrod." Oh, pick 6. It's like fucking Tyrod. Making me look bad.
That wasn't fully on Taylor. Like, yeah, he shouldn't throw the ball with 2 other options. But Garrett, as much as I love Garrett Wilson as a player, he got lazy on that route. He should have been running back to the ball. Kind of sat there and waited for the ball to get to him, and Jamel Dean did not wait for the ball. He attacked the ball, and you see the result of the play. I think that's the stuff that the Jets have historically kind of, just annoyed the shit out of me with, is that, these like big-time plays, like these players aren't making those, extra little like fine detailed plays to win games and, make a play in that situation. And that is a perfect example of like just, where this team needs to get to. They have talent all over the field in various parts, obviously. But that talent just needs to take another step further. As Jet fans, we hyped up Sauce Gardner, but against Evans, there was a couple plays where he wasn't looking up at the ball, trying to high point the ball, and Evans beat him on those plays. Sauce is still an outstanding player, but he's got to make those plays to make a difference on this team. Garrett Wilson, love him as a player. He's going to get 1,000 yards receiving this year, like he has his first couple of years. He's going to get about 80 catches, like he did his first couple of years. But it's not about the stats; it's about making those critical plays in these games. Like in Pittsburgh, Week 1, fourth down reception, ball hits his hands. Jalen Ramsey makes a monster hit on him. He drops the ball. That's a play on fourth down to extend the drive and potentially go down the field and hit a game-winning field goal. These are the plays that these star players need to start making, or they're just going to go down the long line of players that just had a lot of potential and just didn't result in anything.
You want to answer Spin's question here? He says he thought the Jets were trying to set up having a stout defense with ball control offense grinding out games. What do you think about that?
I mean, that was definitely what their thought process was, but I I had concerns with the safety position and the edge spots going into the season, especially with Jermaine Johnson playing, being your primary guy coming off an Achilles injury. He played great Week 1, but obviously they overstretched him and he kind of re-injured whatever, or not re-injured, he injured the other leg, whatever. I think we talked about it a little bit as far as overcompensating, whatever. But that was their plan, and it's a plan that could work. It worked for Rex Ryan back in 2009 and 10 with the, elite defense and ground and pound, and that's what the Jets are trying to rebuild here. But this is not an elite defense, nowhere near it, unfortunately.
Jeez. Captain D, you were right on this game. Talk to us. Tampa Jets. You're on mute, brother. Damn you, Captain
I want to
D.
hear you, man. Gotta hear you.
You're still on mute, Captain D. Come on, Captain D.
Audio problems.
There we go.
There you go, man.
I want to say hello to everybody on the chat. It's a blessing to see everybody. Another day. This is great. I'm excited to be on the podcast. And shout out to the chat. The chat's live right now. The chat is definitely live. The chat is coming through right now. I like that. I'm feeling that. But I hate to say I told you so. This, Tampa Bay, they were missing some key components on the offensive line. Wirfs, their left tackle, was out, but they moved Barton over, and he's not perfect, but that was nice. And they did. Here's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say this about Buffalo also is, don't play with your food. You remember that as a kid when your mom would say would slap you on your hands? Hey, stop playing with your food, because Tampa Bay was in control of this game, like Anthony said, for about 3 quarters, and then things got a little lax. But when you look at what Tampa Bay has, and what I said last week is the seasoning is right. You know what I mean? And now Wirfs is back. They have some good pieces there. They really do. I think they've built something. Ibuka is going to be. Ibuka and Bucky Irvin are the real deal. And let me tell you something about Baker Mayfield. I don't know if anybody remembers the Adam Sandler movie, and this is a disclaimer. This is just a movie, but do you remember? I think it was. I think it's Billy Madison, and he calls Steve Buscemi, and he apologizes for bullying Steve Buscemi in the movie, and Steve Buscemi crosses off on his kill list. Baker Mayfield after the game mentions the Jets defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes who cut him in Carolina.
Did you hear the stuff after that though? I mean, he was an interim coach for that credit, and he was poked back saying, "I don't know if I had much call as far as who's getting cut and who's sticking around." He even said, if I had to say, would I have traded Chris McCaffrey that year too? Probably not.
But for Baker to come out and even say that
he was holding that.
He was holding that in, and he clearly has a get back list of when things weren't going right in his career. He's in a much better spot now. But I thought that was interesting, and it's the Jets, they stuck in there. You have to give them that credit, but Tampa Bay got it done, and they're going to have a great season going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, yeah. So basically, man, this game kind of played out how I thought it would play out as far as the end result. But Captain D's right. Like, Tampa was in control for pretty much most of this game, right? They kind of let the Jets slowly creep back, and before you know it, you had a ball game and almost disaster, right, for the Bucs, because that should have never happened. That should have never came down to that. But once again, man, going back to the Bucs, going back to the Jets. Brandon Allen, 30 yards, Hall 21, 6 carries for Allen, 9 for Hall. Tyrod Taylor you're talking about him not being mobile. He had 48 yards, right? He was your most highest on the ground, right? Yards wise, 48. So you got to do like I feel like your team is best for the run, built for the run. And this game was now, of course, being down early kind of sometimes it takes away from that, and you gotta start going through the air. But I still think lack of run here, rushing it kind of killed you a little bit here in this game. Because Spin said it earlier, like, I feel like you guys are built to have these long drives, run the ball more, especially with Fields, and maybe because Fields was not on the field. Maybe, but I'll say the week you guys played us, once you cut that's my problem with your team. It's like once a defense dials in and stops the run, that's where it gets shaky with you guys with Fields. Now you'll see moving forward. Very curious how Fields is moving forward because defenses are going to collapse. And they're going to go and attack your run. Can Fields have a better performance moving forward through the air? He's going to have to. You can't just rely on the run. You know what I mean? So
he's at the stage of his career where, this is probably like his last real shot to be a full-time starter in this league.
Oh, 100% it is. Nobody gave him a shot.
If teams are daring you to pass, you got to pass. And you got to take advantage of those opportunities. I felt like he was doing it week 1, week 2. The Bills, as much as their defense struggled in week 1. They had definitely a bounce back week, especially against the run. And just Fields, his vision was not there as it was week 1. So he was an easier
opponent, though. You got to remember, Fields is, you take, and I said that, that I said that going into the game, let Fields beat you through the air. And clearly, now I don't know if Fields is that bad through the air. I've seen better performances by him. But he's also not great, right? I've never seen a game where I'm like, damn, Fields really tore it up through the air. Like, it's just not his MO throughout his career.
I thought,
but it's not that bad.
That was outstanding.
Yeah, but you have a decent game here and there, but it's not consistent enough.
No,
but you'll see moving forward. Like I said, I just think Fields is who he is, right? And that's why you got a 2-year contract. That's why he's bounced around. And it's okay. Listen, you're on rebuild mode. Like, a lot of people are forgetting that. You got a brand new coach, brand new, everything, brand new GM. So this is just a filler. I feel like it feels it's just a filler for you guys for now. You're going to get a quarterback through the draft at some point, either next year or the following year. And then you'll see where you go from there. I'll say this though, if you fail at the next quarterback, try again. Don't give up through the draft, man. A lot of teams are making that mistake and they're going out and getting these veteran quarterbacks. I don't like it. I think you got to keep trying until you hit one. Eventually you will hit. You know what I mean? It's just about, after you hit, surrounding that quarterback with the right coaching staff, obviously, and then obviously the right, offensive linemen, running backs, receivers, like building around your rookie. But teams don't do that either, and that's why a lot of like Baker Mayfields and Sam Darnold's that they tend to fail with certain teams, man. Let's see if Fields can get some passing respect. The Jets may get some wins. I don't think he's ever. I don't think he's going to get that respect. I don't. I think the verdict's out on him. I think they're going to play the Jets a certain way, and they're going to go with okay, let Fields beat us through the air. But yeah, this game here, look, man, Juan was right. Like Tampa was a little beaten up, but at the end of the day, the better team won. That's just the reality of it, right? The better team won at home.
Those injuries, even with the
injuries,
they're still miles ahead of where the Jets are right now.
Yeah. But I'll say, great. Yeah, listen, man. If you're a Jets fan, awesome comeback. But at the end of the day, it's all for naught, right? You want the dub, right? So That hurts, man. There's nothing worse than coming back. That'd be like, I was talking to my buddy and my co-host. I'm like, can you imagine if we like came back versus Baltimore and fucking kicker missed it? Or got blocked. It would be terrible. Like, it would have been the worst feeling. Like, I don't know if I would have just rather got my ass kicked, you know what I mean, rather than getting down to that situation. So that had to have been kind of heartbreaking for you guys as Jets fans, because boy, Tampa got the ball and just no problem.
I would say it was a heartbreaker if after the Jets blocked that field goal and I saw it was 1:30 left, I didn't say right away, oh, this is not going to be enough. They're going to march right down. I would have been a little more heartbroken if I had if I was up there pumping, we blocked the field goal. That didn't happen.
Right, yeah. I said the same thing. I'm like, just too much time. And they got playmakers. And they got, Baker.
Horrible defense.
And Baker's good.
I mean, that was a concern of mine, obviously, with all the receivers there. And obviously, Godwin was out. Good thing, because God forbid if he was there, it would have been even worse of a scoreline. But with all those playmakers, that was my concern going into it: is who is Sauce not covering, and that guy is going to get the ball, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the next game. Man, dude, this is a game where I think we were all right. Back and forth, could have went either way. Juan, what is happening here? You lost 21-14. Talk to us.
You know what's funny is you would have had a completely different response from me if we had recorded this like Sunday night or Monday morning or whatever. If you caught me then, you would see me with a drink in my hand, all types of depressed. I was like, I was not in the good mood. I had Trevor here with me, because Trevor comes to Sunday.
Poor Trevor. He's so optimistic. I love Trevor. You guys never see Trevor? You probably don't, but his Facebook, boy, he is an optimistic, loving man. Juan is totally different.
I'm the opposite.
Go ahead. You're the opposite. Go ahead.
So let's run down some ridiculous, really regular box score stats to really, really make this hurt even more. So we had 26 first downs to their 17. We converted our third downs about 50% of the time. We were 4 for 5 and fourth down. We rushed for 119 yards, 250 passing yards. We had 369 total yards to their 203. And we had the ball for 33 minutes and 20 seconds, and we lost this game. Why? Because of not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. So my reaction was me just, to be honest, throughout the game, I really wasn't flipping out about turnovers. That, they're too degrading for me to flip out. I'm just like, every more time. And I have to do that 5 different times just on my couch, just like, what the fuck? Because this Pittsburgh team is ass. And everybody should know that watching that game. That team sucks. That team is not going anywhere. But that is not about them. It's about the AFC East. So now I'm like, okay, there is basically one simple answer to this that will like stem into other subtopics that we all, I'm sure, will want to hit. This team obviously does not know how to fucking win. It's just very that simple, because they should have beat the shit out of this team. This should have been a 28-14 win. So this literally 2 turnovers cost 2 touchdowns. Literally 1 pick in the end zone and 1 fumble off the end zone. That was about 14 points right there, gone because of stupidity. So this team just needs to learn how to win. It's just as simple as that. And it sounds stupid, but it's actually very common for rebuilding teams. You get teams who are garbage and need to fully do over the rebuild, like the Saints and Cleveland, teams like that. They have to figure stuff out. Then you got the teams who look like they have some promise, who have some pieces they may be able to build around, but they need to know how to put everything together and learn how to win. And I think that's where we are right now. Because there were some good things coming out of this game. Like, I'm probably spoiling the Ric Flair thing. What do we do for the good? The shining profile. I'm probably spoiling that a little bit. But to me, Josh McDaniels is spoiler alert, is going to be my pick for that, because people are down the field open. There are plays that are scheming these guys open left and right. And Drake May, about 80 to 85% of the time, is actually hitting these plays. And we moved the ball between the Tonys with ease in the last few weeks. So, like, there's promise coming in through Josh McDaniels. He so far has been A+ of a hire to help Jake May get to that next level, and it's been going great on that side. The defense actually stepped their game up and played in about a C+ level today, and I take that. It's better than F- from the week before. Spillane looked pretty good for the first time all season. He actually roamed the field because they let him be a roamer around instead of having him protect just regular zones and do regular coverage. He roamed around the field and chased the ball and actually made some nice tackles and even got that pick off Aaron Rodgers when we finally pressured him. The defensive line played okay. For the third quarter, they only allowed 1 yard, and they got 3 punts and 1 turnover in the third quarter. The defense did their thing. It's insane how the more the stats come out, the fact that we fucking lost the game. We don't know how to win, and we have to figure that out. So now, with that being said, we're 1-2 when we easily should be 2-1 because there's no excuse for losing the Raiders game. We got bested that one, but we should be 2-1 right now. We're playing against a team who is at least as bad as us or worse tomorrow. So that should be a W. Another spoiler for later when we go through that game. The clock is ticking in terms of, even though to me it's not realistic still, the clock is ticking for an actual push in the playoffs later on, because tomorrow has to be a game where it has to be won in order for them to even think about pushing for it. Because I'll give you the schedule for October so you can see, because after we get our ass whooped next week by y'all, after that ass whooping, we have New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta. Though all 5 of those games are winnable.
Yeah, those are winnable.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Then we got to go to Tampa. That should be a loss. Then we got our first Jets matchup. We play Cincinnati with no Burrow. Will not be back yet. So that's no Burrow. So that's another winnable game. And then the Giants right after that in a bye week. Those are about 7 winnable games I just mentioned. So in order for you to even look forward to those wins, if they happen, you need to win tomorrow. But this team just doesn't know how to win. Another example of that is on Drake, since I see Drake's name on the comment section. That interception that he threw in the end zone. So Booty was wide open in the corner of the end zone. All he had to do was loft it over. All he had to do was loft it over. But he wants to be fucking super arm Cam Newton and try to rip the shit. And Cameron Hayward, the beast that he is, went up, smacked the ball, turned to an interception. So like little stuff like that, like really contributes into making the winning plays. So just like how Anthony was talking about his team and his past, that they don't know how to make winning plays, we're in the same boat and we have to do the same things. We 100% lost this game. Pittsburgh did not win this game, but since we do not know how to win, I don't like when people use the word like should and like wins for us right now. That's why I said for me, we have winnable games coming up, but we shouldn't win games because we're not that yet. We're still ass in my book. So
what's going on? What's up with Stevenson, man? Like, what happened to him? Like, he's a good running back, and I don't recall like early on in his career having fumbles, and then all of a sudden, that dude
from last year. Like, I don't know, like if he changed the technique and handling or what.
And they can't get it right, even with the new coaching staff.
That's what
I don't know if that could be something mental too. It's odd, bro.
To me,
because
there's no question about that. That is mental.
It's I feel for the guy in a way because man, he's a good running back, but you can't put the ball on the ground. And I was watching Red Zone. I'm like, man, you guys had, I think, 2 red zone opportunities that you just floundered away.
Yeah, the
fumble and man, like that's brutal. You get all the way down there, right there, you're ready to score. You can't have that.
And I don't even care about all the other shit. What I care about is the fact that, in terms of a totality for the team, he is minimum our second best skill player that we have. Because when he has the ball in his hand, he's dynamic. He makes things happen. Unfortunately, now that he continues to, this is 9 fumbles in a season and change that he has had. It's just the fact that he still has our uniform on right now and is going to dress tomorrow. It shows how bad we need him, because any other team would have got rid of his ass already. With 9
or benched, or traded. Yeah, they would have done something with him.
Wild.
Yeah, that's it's too much.
We need him because he makes plays when he has the ball. Unfortunately, now we don't know if he's going to make a play for us or for the other team. So now we're in that predicament. But
you paid him, right? you also paid him, right?
I don't know why Elliot Wolf is still the GM. He's a piece of shit.
Right.
But,
so, yeah. Well, yeah. I honestly though, like I always go by like I hate when like and it's unfortunate, but I hate when like certain people are like, yeah, well, we paid him. You got to, like, you know, what can you do? You got to be on. Like for me, I don't care if you paid a player, then and he's underperforming or hurting the team. I don't want him on the field. It's too. Yeah, it sucks. We paid him, but he's hurting the team. Like yeah, so it is what it is. Like okay, we fucked up, but I can't have a guy fumbling on the goal line or fumbling twice a game. Like it is what it is. You know, look, we paid Curtis Samuel. He's in healthy scratch for the first 3 weeks. Exactly. Like, yeah, because he's not doing anything for our team. So I'd rather have a guy out there that can at least be impactful or at least do something rather than there's us just going, well.
His fumbleitis like got contagious and like 3 other players want to be fucking up just the way he did. It's crazy. Yeah. What's funny too, this is like the worst game of our offensive line too. And we still should have beat the shit out of this team. Like now I'm getting more upset. The more now my brain's going back to Sunday. I'm thinking about it. Like it's dude,
you got 100%. I don't know. I forget if I picked you. I think I picked you guys to win, but I thought it would be close. And I did say it could go either way. And it was a close game, but honestly, it might have still been close, but I still think you guys take the turnovers away. You guys win by at least 10 points. Touchdowns. At least. At least 10.
That's what I'm telling you. You should have fucked them up.
Yeah. But so that's
you're also the 4th youngest team. You don't know what the fuck you're doing in this time of September also. It makes sense little by little when you think about it, why this happened, but it can't happen. That's like this has to be our anomaly. But I can promise you this, we will not be doing this again because no one really does this in the first place. So games that are like this, we should be winning. But we'll see. I don't know.
Did you hear Coward's comments, by the way, on May?
I haven't watched Calvin Cowherd in a year. I have not.
Yeah, so I like him. He's the only one I like for the most part for national media. Like I feel like he kind of keeps things real, but he talked about May a little bit over the weekend, like or after that game or whatever. He's like, you know, I like him, but I feel like May still needs another, like he said, 15 games. But he's like, I still think he needs a good amount of time for him to really get everything right. You know what I mean? And
I call him an idiot savant because he'll give you like 8 beautiful, like good quarterback level plays that you're like, damn, what a throw! Damn, what decision! But then, for example, his fumble, what the fuck? Like he'll give you one of those at least once a game. He'll give you that. Why are you trying to do the Josh Allen inflict the ball last minute? Just take the fucking sack. It was 1st and goal. Like take the sack.
Yeah.
But he's an idiot.
That's a rookie.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's young.
That's a rookie.
22, 23. Hopefully he gets out of that dumb shit. But
absolutely. That's a second-year quarterback going through his things. Yeah. I mean, it happens. Yeah. You got the best right. You know, you got the right coach. You're going in the right direction
in the team.
Yeah.
So a year ago. But
yeah, all that stuff will be corrected, and I'm sure he'll look at the film. I mean, most good quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, that aren't cocky, you know, that feel like they know everything. You know, the ones that want to learn, that want to improve their craft. So if that's him, then he'll be okay. You know what I mean? He'll learn from that. And I mean, Allen made so many dumb, boneheaded decisions early on in his career, and he cleaned up. Yeah, they all do for the most part. I mean, very rare quarterback just comes in and is just like good to go. Like they all make some kind of mistakes early on. Captain D, what'd you think of the game, man?
Interesting game. You know, it when you have 5 turnovers, and especially at key points on the field, that's always tough to overcome. But you know, as we all know, the Patriots they're still evaluating. You know what I mean? This is the first year for Vrabel, and if you look at their draft, you know, it seems like they found their guy in Will Campbell in the left tackle, Ramondre Stevenson. You know, that's a huge question mark. You know what I mean? He's been having fumbling issues. The Patriots, this was definitely a winnable game, but Mike Vrabel is trying to put his stamp on this team and this organization. You could kind of see a little bit kind of where he's going with this, because if you want to, go into a competition with Dan Campbell, let your nuts hang, going for it on 4th and short on your own 15-yard line. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I hated that
wild.
play too, but it worked.
I'm like, I was talking with Tommy about this, and I was like, wow, when did this change?
I don't like that.
4th and short, and it was like automatically punt teams.
We're more analytically driven now. Now we actually use analytics in our team. With Belichick, obviously that was never fuck out of here. But now with Vrabel, now he's starting to put the numbers in and starting to use it a little bit more. And then we're starting
I was shocked by that.
And for the most part, it's working for now. We're like one of the best 4th down teams in the league.
Yeah,
so, and that's tough though, Captain D. I want to do
tough,
that.
Yeah, and it's going to be a growing pains up and down, and they're watching and they're seeing what works and what doesn't work and what is the identity going forward. But this was definitely a winnable game. You know what I mean? I would say I did chuckle a little bit with the Keyshawn Booty references during the broadcast. That was a little funny, but I mean, it makes for great TV and entertainment.
Did you? I was dying laughing, couldn't hold it.
Oh my god! You done, Captain D, on that one?
I'm done.
All right, Curtis. They gotta run the ball. I've been saying it forever. All right? For the last 2 years, they gotta be ball. All right, go ahead, Curtis. Go, Curtis.
I mean, look, it was you're a funny guy, Tom. I'm gonna kill you last.
Go ahead, buddy.
You could see it. The Steelers have some real issues on defense. But they're a veteran team. They made veteran plays, and the younger team made stupid plays. Ramondre Stevenson is a guy, just from a talent standpoint, I was expecting a lot from him. I really liked him, even though he was on the Patriots. You can't fumble the football. That's, 2 to 3 fumbles is still a lot of season. And it's a shame. A guy he had a super nice catch outs. Didn't he have a great catch that game? Yeah, he was coming out of field. The guy is super talented, but you just can't have that. May made some stupid plays. And it was just the veteran status of that defense of the Steelers kind of came through. I said last year, I liked the way they were going with Vrabel, and they've surpassed the Dolphins already. I think they're ahead of the Jets. Sadly, my game this week is the bottom for the toilet of the AFC East, and that's the truth, But you got an excellent coach, you got an excellent OC, and you got some talent. You got a quarterback, and you got some pieces. So they're definitely vying for second in the division. But there is a lot to say in football about being a veteran, and it just kind of shines through in ways you can't really just put on a graph or statistics, and the Steelers took advantage of it. But they should have lost, and they're not as good a team as I thought. That offensive line's not that good. It's a shambles. And they were able to, in a critical point, I think it was the 3rd or 4th quarter, get some runs. I remember the running back jumping over a Patriots defender and picking up the first down or close to it. But they're a struggling team, but the Patriots are heading in the right direction.
Yep. Anthony, what's going on? What do you think, Anthony?
Hey. I forget why I picked this game. I'm pretty sure I picked the Steelers just for the sheer fact that I thought these two teams are neck and neck as far as talent is concerned. I thought the Steelers would have the edge because of their veteran leadership, but that's basically, I think that's the difference here. A lot of silly turnovers in this game. Stevenson with 2 fumbles. That's unacceptable for a running back. May had a strip sack fumble, I think it was, in the game, and also an interception. Mm-hmm. The turnovers were the difference in this game. Stats wise, Juan, you expressed exactly it. Like the Patriots controlled this game from start to finish, with the lone exception being the score, and that's obviously the most important stat of all. It's just the leadership of the Steelers, and the veteran leadership of the Steelers that took this game into control, and that's really the major difference. Coaching standpoint, I mean, Vrabel, Tomlin's a great coach, but I put them neck and neck as far as like their abilities as leaders. It's just that this game was one play away, really. I mean, 1 play or 2 plays away from really flipping the script in this game. And in this game, the Patriots didn't make those plays. The Steelers did. Goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Is like, teams have to eventually get to a point where they're making those critical plays and making them, especially in crunch time, to turn this thing around. I think the Patriots are closer to doing that than other teams, unfortunately. But yeah, I think moving forward, you talk about that strip of games. I mean, that's really kind of what you look for. You look and see these teams that are expected to beat us. How we do against them? Can we win those toss-up games, especially against teams that we are either in line with or better than? This is one that you lost, but the next few weeks are a chance for you guys to kind of stack some wins and maybe get yourselves in conversation for at least wild card spot potentially.
Yeah. I
got a question
though
for you, Juan. I thought Campbell could play tackle. A lot of could put the short arms and short shoulders, but he gave up another 4 pressures this week, and I think he's been hit or miss. Do you think he's trending?
His weakness is like the speed rush where you go around and then you stunt back and go over. He fucks that up a lot because that's been happening in training camp too. When we had his teammate before we put him in the practice squad, that's how he was like winning in those one-on-ones in training camp. And as of right now, that's still kind of going on. If you just engage with Campbell, a lot of them lose. I don't know, he's been good for the most part this year so far. But that little stunt speed rush, for some reason, I don't know, he loses that, and that's what the backup end was doing to him mostly in that game.
You think he'll be able to resolve it though, or you think he's going to be a guy to move to guard?
I think they can resolve it with the coaching. This is only game 3. And they didn't really do that against him until now. So I'm hoping that Marone and them can beat that, because I don't think that's an arm issue. I just think you need to trust in your feet and be able to be ready for that type of rush. I think maybe coaching and experience will fix that. But I can't complain about someone who's been pretty dang good for the majority of the year. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to push him over already when this is the only game you were fairly bad in. We'll see if this stuff continues throughout the season, then we can have the conversation.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I like him. I just don't know. It's I thought he was the most interesting prospect in the draft to evaluate, because he was such an outlier with his shoulders and arms that if he does make it, it's going to change the way people evaluate offensive linemen. Because right now, he would have, in most cases, he would have been moved inside a guard. So anyway, that's it. I just want to know your opinion, because I watched, but I didn't really go back and study the film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people in the chat talking about McDaniel going to Buffalo for offense coordinator for Luis Brady. I do not.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that would not. That's not going to happen. And I don't know what if McDaniel gets fired, which he should. I have no idea where that dude lands. I mean, will he get a coordinator job? Probably.
He won't.
Yeah. I don't know about OC, but he'll get some kind of gig.
Coordinator,
like a position coach or something.
Yeah, no, head coaching. Ain't nobody gonna.
He probably just goes back to San Fran, goes back to Kyle Shanahan, and either running game coordinator,
exactly,
or glorified OC, where you're
exactly
some kind assistant or something like that. I could see that, but no, head coaching. I think he's gonna. Ain't no.
Oh, maybe my Dolphins will keep him. All the fans are starting to cheer. Get rid of Greer. Get rid of Tua. Keep McDaniel.
Yeah,
McDaniel's not the problem. It's everyone else.
Right. It's a good. Right.
Everybody else in the building.
Going on this game, man. You guys, like I said, you guys should have won. Pittsburgh is not good. They are not good. They are not that 2-1 record is that's just a false record. That's just not. That's not who they are. Aaron Rodgers is kind of showing who he is at this stage of his career, in my opinion. You could see it with DK's stats are going down. DK's way better than that. He just doesn't have the guy capable of. And he's kind of Rodgers since game 1. Game 1 looked good, but then game 2 getting sacked a lot, 3 sacks, interceptions are kind of starting to pile up. Yeah, exactly. So he's starting to. I'm not saying he's terrible. He's just not a guy that's gonna. He's at the late stage of his career, and Pittsburgh needs to figure that out. That's another team that since Roethlisberger's left, they can't figure it out at quarterback, and you have to. But yeah, New England with the 5 turnovers. That's really that's it. That's the game. There's really not much more to talk about. You cannot turn the ball over 5 times and expect to win in the NFL. It's rare. I remember, what was it last year, the year before, when Jared Goff had
The Lions
Yeah,
did
and they just and they got lucky, right? Because they had
Mm-hmm.
enough just firepower to get to kind of overcome that, but that's rare. It doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, here's a crazy stat
yeah.
from Pittsburgh. Listen to this.
Go
They've
for it.
run the ball 67 times for 189 yards, 2.8 yards a carry.
Yeah, they don't have a good run. Warren is their leading back. They lost. They did have what's his name there for a little while.
Harris.
Najee. Yeah, and he left. He's
blew his
hurt, I
ACL.
think, too.
Yeah, he blew
Yeah,
his ACL with the Chargers.
Jeez, brutal. But either way, yeah, man, I think
Yeah,
New England. This
stuff.
is a game. Yeah, this is a game they had an opportunity to win at home. But yeah, you're not going to win with 5 turnovers.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Their backs are averaging 2.48 yards after contact. That's how bad it is. They're getting like point something, less than a yard before contact.
Yeah, that Steeler team. We'll see what happens with them, but I don't see
the Ravens
things,
are going to cruise through that division.
Yeah, I don't see things going. Yeah, it's just not going to go well for them. All right, so let's get to
when I mentioned a playoff for us. That's the reason why I mentioned it, is because the AFC is not good. There's a lot of ass teams in this conference. We have a chance. We just need to win tomorrow. Like
in injuries too. I mean, you got Burrow out now. You got teams that are underperforming, like the Ravens and Chiefs. Who someone's going to 1-3 right this weekend.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like now, can they bounce back? Sure. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever count a team like that out, especially a winning team. But you never want to start 1-3. You never want to start 1-3.
Like Baltimore could lose, and that'll be okay because their division's so ass.
It is
maybe
sad.
10 wins to win that division.
Yes.
Maybe.
Right.
City suck, though, because Chargers is winning. The Broncos aren't trash. Like,
I was thinking the same thing, Juan. I was saying that somebody asked, I did a show yesterday, Friday, and they were like, who do you want to win, or who do you think's going to win, Baltimore or KC? And I'm like, I have a feeling KC will at home. I don't know why I'm picking them. But Baltimore, honestly, Baltimore's a better team. But I just, at home, KC, this is a big game for them. If KC loses, man, that's like I was saying, like you were saying, that's brutal, right? Like for them. But if Baltimore loses, they're in a terrible division. They'll be fine. They'll bounce back. They should, right? If they don't, oh my God, Baltimore fans will lose their shit. If Baltimore continues to struggle, I mean, I don't know what would happen, because that would be just really unacceptable for that team, for that kind of roster that they have there. I think even if they lose this game, Baltimore fans are going to be like, they're going to be on edge for sure. They're going to cry. Yeah, 100%. And by the way, I know this AFC East show, the Lions, I got to say, man, they really put that work in. Yeah, their defense, man, they put that work in. So, congrats to the Lions.
Some points for that, because everybody's like, "Oh, can he coach?" Because they don't know he can coach because of the coordinators. They look fine to me.
Yeah, dude. And I was questioning it myself, especially after week 1. I'm like, well, they got a tough schedule. There's no way they're going to be Baltimore, and boy, like their line too. Man, they got after him. They just collapsed. He couldn't go anywhere. North, south, east, west, he was screwed.
Nope.
Too about Detroit. Obviously, Aaron Glenn, their defense coordinator, is Jets head coach. Ben Johnson, their offense coordinator, is coach for the Bears now. But they've also, Glenn and Johnson also took something like 6 of their assistants along with them. So he's had to replace an entire coaching staff for the most part. Yeah. And obviously, week 1 wasn't a great showing for what's going to happen now, but week 2 and 3, they look like they're right back on top.
Exactly. And
but they got a lot of
too. With Micah and all that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think that was
exactly.
Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken. So
it was.
That's a game you probably would have lost anyway. So that's why I never really cared about that ass whooping.
But they got a lot of playmakers. I mean, let's not
fool ourselves. They got a lot of talent, dude. They got so much talent.
I mean, on both sides of the ball. Yeah, right. Detroit is stacked with talent.
Absolutely,
they rebuilded the right way. You know what I mean? Golf, I would say, is the only kind of one I think eventually they're going to have to figure that out. because he's just kind of one of those quarterbacks where he's kind of just not in the right era of pocket passing. Quarterbacks don't really, there's not a lot left out there. And I think they eventually need to find his replacement. And boy, that could be really dangerous. You know what I mean? That you got a guy that's more mobile then you're talking. But Goff's good. You protect him. He can get, and with those two running backs, dynamic receivers. And they got the guy Tesla who's looking pretty good too. Like, man, JMO, they're stacked. St. Brown defense. I mean, they got a ton of impactful players. Like, that's what, impactful players. There's a difference between good and impactful. They got impactful players, and it showed. It definitely showed. And you saw Baltimore too on the sideline. They were just like, "What the fuck is going on?" They were flustered, frustrated, mad. And yeah, they got their asses handed to them. So, anyways, let's get to let's get to the boo this man. Boo this man. Oh man, we'll start with Anthony. Who you booing?
Steve Wilkes. 3 weeks into the season, averaging 30 points a game. I mean, it's just unacceptable. Come on, with the NFL, figure this shit out, man. You should be able to cover people. You should know, It's ridiculous. It's come to a point where if the other team has a quarterback that throws the football and receivers that catch, that's all you need. Game plan, don't worry about it. Just figure it out because someone's gonna be wide open down the field. It's just unacceptable. Steve Wilkes, definitely boo this man. He's getting to like really, really harsh territory right now where you're talking about something's gonna happen there.
Profiling. All right, who's your style and profiling? Somebody got to be on there.
Yeah, no, there's actually an honorable mention too. But I'll go with style and profiling Quinnen Williams. He had a great game this week. I know it doesn't show, especially with how bad the defense is. But if we had 11 Quinnen Williams out there playing defense, I mean, I don't know if he can cover, but if we had 11 of those guys, he probably covers better than Brandon Stevens, to be honest with you. But if we had 11 of him out there, the Jets defense would be elite. And he's playing his ass off, playing his tail off. He's a beast, getting double teamed. And this has always been a problem I had with him is that when the double teams come or triple teams come, it's at some point he doesn't break through. But he's been breaking through this year. He's been getting pressures even when he's double teamed. And that was the case last week. Just, again, he doesn't get enough accolades because how bad this defense is playing on the back end right now. But if something figures out in the secondary, he's going to be making some big plays.
All right. Mr. One, who you booing?
The obvious one would be Ramondre, but I think the entire planet already did that to him this entire week. My boo this man instead is actually going to be Demario Douglas, our so-called slot receiver that's supposed to be our main target for Josh McDaniels' offense, who got most of the burn in preseason. And it is not because of skill, because he's fast, he can catch the ball, he's awesome after the catch. But the problem is not physically, the problem is here. And I think there has to be, or there might be actually, some changes tomorrow. So, for example, I'll give you one thing. So for the there's also awesome film review, I will shout out my guy Evan Lazar. He's a Patriots beat, well, not Patriots, but he works for New England. And he is an awesome analyst that works for them. And he broke down this play in which he actually pinpointed the pick for Drake May, that interception play. He fucked up more than Drake May did, and I'm going to explain what he means by this. So in that play, we had Kayshon Boutte wide open, right? We had the corner that was supposed to be that was defending that zone in the vicinity. So the route that Demario Douglas was supposed to run was a flat route to that exact same side. So if he would have run that route correctly, that would have left that cornerback in an island. So May would have had two choices to score a touchdown. Either would have been the lob to Boutte or the flat route to Demario Douglas, depending on which way the corner was going to go. I would have trusted Drake May to make the right decision because he's actually done that great all year. But since Demario Douglas did not run the flat route correctly, he never even gave the corner any reaction to go guard the flat, which kept him around for when Cameron Hayward hit the ball he was easily there for an interception. If Demario Douglas would have been where he was supposed to be, that corner would have been all types of confused and would have been stuck in an island. But since he didn't run a fucking flat route, very easy concept to do, very easy route. Just run near the line of scrimmage. All you got to do. He did not do that correctly. That left that of the play easier to defend than it should have been. It's easy stuff like that DeMario was messing up, and it's messing with Josh McDaniels' plays. Since he can't do the right thing correctly, that shows throughout the last 3 weeks why him and Drake May aren't on the same page, when at the time it looks like Drake May is overthrowing him or underthrowing him or can't throw it him because he's 5'8". I actually think it's because he's not doing the right things during the play, because we know how complex Josh McDaniels' plays can be at times. I think he's not getting it. And since he's not getting it, it's becoming a detriment to the team. He should have way more production than what he has right now. And now that we're seeing more tape on it and more of a sample size, I think he's fucking it up. And because of that, the receivers look even worse than how they look when they shouldn't be, because I think these receivers are good enough to play well in this playbook. But since he is not doing things well, that takes away a slot. So what I'm suggesting, I know I'm ODing, my bad, but I needed to get as well.
You're good.
So what I think needs to happen now is that I think Diggs should be our primary slot receiver, and the kid Kyle Williams, who actually has speed, needs to come out there and start playing at least in the Z receiver world, in a C receiver role, because DeMario's not fucking getting it. If you're not in the right place, get the fuck out. And Diggs should be our slot receiver, but DeMario Douglas is my main one. He's the Buddha's man heavily, because it's sad.
All right,
at this point.
Who's your styling and profiling, man?
I said earlier, Josh McDaniels. Despite DeMario being dumb half the time, and if you see the snap counts, his snap counts has been going down the last 3 games. Henry's been set up very well. Ramondre, when he's not from the ball, has been set up very well. And the receivers are where they're supposed to be outside of DeMario and catching what they need to catch. He's scheming up outside of, because week 1 he was ass. But week 2 and 3, he's been scheming up things perfectly well. People are open. You see the 22 tape. People are there and where they're supposed to be. It's been a revelation so far, and Drake May has definitely improved under his tutelage for the last couple months, and I'm hoping that it continues to rise up. But McDaniels gets my all
right, style and profile. All right, Bills fan coming in just for you, Captain D, saying your chicken is better than the fish, man. You gotta have anything to say about that?
I would disagree.
Oh man, disagree. He's saying go to Captain D's anytime. You can get the chicken and fish are the best.
Are the best.
All right, Captain D. So we'll go back to last week because I don't think we did the you guys had an opportunity to do the boo this man or style profile. So I know it's tough to go back to last week's game against the Bills, but who do you got? Man, who you booing?
I'm sure you're loving it though, Tommy.
I'm loving it. Come on, bring it on. Who you booing?
You're breaking down.
We're gonna go back to the Bills Dolphins game. Let me think here. I kind of
you got to boo somebody. Who you booing?
Bury that in the past. You know
I know. Yeah, you got to dust it off and bring it back
like
up.
A big bag of poop.
Yeah. Okay. Boo this man for that game. Man, I don't know. I think I would have to boo. Man, that's tough. I think I'm gonna have to just boo the defense. I'll boo the defense in general.
Really? Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna boo.
All right. Who's styling profile?
It's been too long.
I should have. Yeah. The defense. Remember the defense.
Yeah. Styling and profiling. I'm gonna give it to It's a tough one. I'm gonna give it to Patrick Paul. Let me just give it to Patrick Paul. I haven't heard his name called quite a bit, but I'm gonna give it to Patrick Paul, left tackle. Why not?
All right, Curtis. Do you remember last week?
His name. That's a good.
I thought I did all this, man.
You didn't boo. You did not boo. Come on, who you booing?
I gotta give it Butch Barry. We've been hearing it's more of Dolphins BS, the load of BS. In Butch Barry, we trust best. I actually saw somebody, I won't say who, ranked the Dolphins offensive line this year, the 11th best in football.
Yikes.
They give up the 3rd most pressures, 29th least sacks. And we have, if I factored it out, because I thought this guy must have been either totally screwed it up and flipped the 3rd pressures and thought it was good. But I went through it. We had 2-6-6 clean time, 2-6-3, and I went through the first 11 teams, and every team was better than us. It's a fantasy. Butch Barry, if you look at Jonas Avayanaya, who everybody, all the gurus were saying he was going to be a world changer and whatever else, and our stupid staff, if you go back and watch him in college, the guy's foot, he takes a step and it comes back in the same spot to take his first step.
Oh, you talked about it last week. I remember it.
So
I remember
it's
that.
like it is literally the worst technique I've ever seen. It dates back to his college career. It hasn't been resolved. It's like I said probably last week. I'll say it again. It's like waking up and you go, your eyes are like still sleeping. You go on to 7-Eleven for coffee and you go in there and you see Elvis and the Sasquatch getting married. You don't expect to see it. It throws you off your game. How anybody would draft this guy at that level, throw him on the left side when he played the right, and not fix it at this point is unconscionable. It is, and Butch Barry's the guy. How do you do that? You won't see it anywhere. I don't think I've ever seen it like that. And that's the beginning of his technique problems. So Butch Barry and the Dolphin media pushing him, Butch Barry we trust, and the people that supposedly the gurus studying this guy out during the preseason and before, I boo all them because, I finally put the all 22 on the second week, and I was like, what the hell am I seeing? And so it's just the Dolphins live in a world of propaganda, mind control. It's like the Truman Show meets 1984, meets Brave New World. It's just a fantasy land, a delusion. And Butch Barry is symptomatic of that. And it's sad because the kid's got physical talent, but it's another player the Dolphins screwing up, and another player the Dolphins media is going to tout as this or that. It just sucks. So that's a boo. I got bunch of boos.
Did you like anyone's style and profiling? Anybody stand out in that game?
Yeah.
You were like,
look, Ollie Gordon had 4.4 yards after contact. And then McDaniel's like, you know what? We've been seeing enough of that. Let's get away from that. 4.4 yards per contact. How many carries did he have? He had 9 attempts. 4.33 yards after contact. And McDaniel had enough of that.
Yeah. I hate when
dude. He could play, man.
Yeah, he seemed like a bruiser, man, and I hate when coaches go away with something that's working. I can't stand it. So I'm with you, Curtis, on that. We're going to get this game out. So we're going to go to week 4 now. We're going to get my game out of the way because it's the East. There's not much to talk about here.
What do you mean? The Saints, man, come marching in.
There's really, yeah, that's why I'm going to quickly get over this. Normally the Bills are playing someone. Is something to talk about. I did this yesterday. I'm like, really, there's not a lot to talk about. This is a game where Buffalo should win at home against a bad 0-3 Saints team. Yeah. I saw some people were like, oh, the Saints receivers, their speed. Stop. This game should be an easy win for Buffalo. Now, the only thing I'll say about Buffalo is it's not in McDermott's DNA to just squash a team. I have no idea why. He just doesn't do it. We get a lead and we kind of just go in cruise control. And, and this team here, I guess you can do that and get away with it. I hate it, though. I wish he would just go for the kill shot. But that's not, like I said, it's not in his DNA. So my prediction, we get up early at halftime. In the second half, we probably get a quick score, and then we go on cruise control, and it gets just really boring. And, we play clock management, basically. Long, extended, boring drives. So more than likely, if I had to do a score prediction on this, I would say 34-13 or something like that.
That's dead ass my score. That's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah,
literally.
I just don't. I don't.
That might be the number one pick in the draft. You're gonna fuck them up next.
I think we get a 40 burger on it, but it's like, will we? Probably not. We just don't blow teams out like that.
Probably not.
Yeah, well, because we go into this mode, like it's our. I think it's just like it's our coaching philosophy. It's like, all right, we got the lead, and you can see Josh probably will rest in the fourth quarter. Mitch Trubisky will come out. It's going to be one of those games where it's like the Jets game. Week 2, you're going to see exactly that. Where it's just going to be long second half. Oh, God, when will this game end? Right? Nothing exciting going on. It is what it is, man. My only problem with that is with my coach is that philosophy. He does that with every team, and you can't have that, like especially against the better teams, because they will catch up. Like it only takes a mistake or two, a couple 3-and-outs, and before you know it, that 13-point lead is down to 3. And now you're fucking around with 3 minutes left, right? And the momentum has gone to the other team's favor. So you can get away with that with teams like New Orleans, bad teams. But man, I just wish our coach, McDermott, would have that mentality of, I don't give a fuck about the other team's feelings. We're just going to go for the kill shot and step on their throats. But he just doesn't have it, and that's the only thing I really don't like in his philosophy as a coach. Or that's one of the things. There's quite a few things I don't like about him, but that you can't have that coach not to lose mentality. Anyways, Curtis, real quick, just get you don't have to go through the game, just score prediction if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, they can't block, they can't throw, they can't run. Some parts on the defense are good, but they got no corners. So yeah, I like your score. I'll give them. I'll make it 34-16. Why not?
There you go. Who knows? Anthony, what you got?
I mean, a lot to a little. 38 to 10, 38-14.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Right. Juan already said it. Same score, right? 34-13.
34-13. You're beating the number one pick in the draft. Next, let's go.
We are. Yeah, a swipe. Captain D, go.
Next.
What do you got? Well, let's Captain D. Maybe Captain D has something special lined up here.
Hey, I mean, the Saints.
Special?
No.
Maybe he has something lined up here. Maybe he has
an upset.
No? Oh, okay. Okay.
The Saints are going to make this a little interesting in the first half. The offensive line for the Saints can do some. They can run block a little bit. Alvin Kamara, he's still got a step left right there, and it'll make it a little interesting. But ultimately, the Bills are going to try and kind of what they did with the Jetsons, make them as one-dimensional. You know what I mean? They're going to try and force Rattler to try and throw the ball more and test him that way, and that's when things are going to get a little dicey. But I have the Bills rolling. It's going to be 30. I'm going to say 33-17 Bills.
All
right. I'm going to tell you, somebody put this game's close at halftime. Captain D.
Scott is messing around.
I'm going to be fucking furious, dude. Are you kidding me? I was mad. I was furious at the Dolphins Bills halftime. 14-14. No disrespect to you guys, but come on, you're at home. That's a bullshit ass score. Come on, you should be up at least 7-10. No excuse. And if you're even close to the Saints at halftime, dude, it ain't gonna be a pretty halftime report by me. I promise you guys right now, Bills Mafia, I'm gonna be cursing up a fucking storm, dude, because that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. That shit better not be close. I'm gonna be a boy, oh boy. I'm already getting mad because if that don't do it, and it's my birthday. You Bills pull some bullshit like that tomorrow. Oh dude,
I remember that.
Yeah, old ass man over here. I'm gonna be old, mean man. All right, so let's get to the next game because we're gonna leave the Jets Dolphins for last. So let's get to the Panthers and the Patriots. 2-1-2 teams going at it. Man, talk to us, Juan.
So
Panthers are sneaky though, Juan. I will say that, but go ahead.
It's actually okay, at least against the pass. They have a decent front four. With Derek Brown, their DT, he's actually kind of a beast. Plays pretty well. What's funny about that is that our rookie left guard is actually not playing tomorrow, so we got to play a backup. So he might actually eat a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see. But without him, they have JC Horn at corner, who's really good. He's underratedly good. They have a pretty decent foundation on defense, but it's the other side of the ball that's very pathetic. They only have one receiver, the rookie McMillan, and he is not 100%. And we're probably having Gonzalez tomorrow for his first game back, which is perfect. I'd rather him play tomorrow than not next week against a real team. So he has a nice little warm-up game for you guys. So Gonzalez should be back tomorrow. That's great. So if that's the case, then they probably won't move the ball much. Assuming we can continue to stop the run as we've been doing the last 3 weeks. So if we make what's his face, Bryce Young very one-dimensional, this I will use the word I said we shouldn't be using. We should be cruising by this game. My score will be 24-14, only a 10-point win, but it's not going to be one of those like 24-14s where they had a chance. I think we will control this game like how we controlled it last week, and we will not turn over the ball 5 times, maybe once, because we're dumb. We do that, but not 5 times. Drake May should be fine. The real questions here that I would look for is if we make any receiver formation changes, like, replacing Mario and giving Kyle Williams more burn, or who will be starting at running back. I'm assuming it will be Antonio Gibson starting at running back tomorrow, and see if Ramondre gets any carries, because I know he'll be there for pass blocking, but I'm not sure he's going to be carrying a lot just for punishment for last week. We'll see though. Otherwise, we'll be fine. We should win this game. I'm gonna say it. Gonzalez is playing tomorrow. Yeah, perfect. There you go. So
24-14. Okay.
24-14.
All right.
Not home. We'll finally get a fucking home win.
Captain D. I don't know if you're still there.
I'm here.
I'll go to
my camera's just messing.
Why you?
Damn your camera, Captain D.
Blacked out.
All right, Captain D. What's your score prediction or what's your thoughts on this game, and then your score prediction?
This is a tough one because I agree with you. Carolina's a little sneaky, and the past 2 weeks, New England, they almost gave the game to the Dolphins, and then they have 5 turnovers, critical turnovers in this game. Last game with the Steelers, and that's an issue for me. And Carolina can be sneaky, so I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Carolina Panthers on this one.
Of course you are. You're going to be a fucking hater. Oh
my!
Whatever.
Oh my!
I have to go with Carolina.
It's
going to be tight.
Whatever.
It's going to be a tight rope.
17-10
Carolina Panthers. I said it.
I won't expect none less from you, man. I expect nothing less. I knew it.
Anthony, what do you got?
I mean, a couple of things work out in the Patriots' favor this game. 1, being at home. 2, I think the coaching obviously is a major factor in this game. Canales, we just don't know what he is yet after a couple of years in the league. And I think even the quarterback situation here, I mean, Bryce Young has shown better than his rookie year, obviously, but still seems like has some struggles. I know they had a whomping win last week. The defense showed up against Atlanta. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more working in the Patriots' way this week. It's just going to come down to not making the critical mistakes. As Juan mentioned, you can't turn the football over 5 times. Just can't do that. You turn the ball over that much, other teams are going to have shorter fields, take advantage of it, and you're going to lose scores that way. But I think the Patriots, I think they're favored this game, rightfully so. They have a lot of stuff working in their way. I'll go 24-17. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but
no,
I think they'll control it for the most part.
All right, Curtis, what you got?
They lost Robert Hunt, which is a huge piece of the puzzle. Their backup guard, he's not that good. They have poor linebacking group, and Bryce is 5'10". And the interesting part is they're not giving many pass rush mitigation. I think they got about like 10% play action, 8% screens. And if you add Gonzalez, it's going to be a real big problem. I think as long as the turnover ratio isn't lopsided, Pats win. It's not a good team. I don't think they're heading in the right direction. So I think that the Pats will win 23-13. I just don't see them being able to score too many points.
Yeah, I agree with that. Your score is just basically the same as mine.
And the thing is, too, the Pats have tight ends, so they can attack those weak linebackers. And McDaniels knows how to dial up to it. Look what he did to our linebackers and left a lot of stuff open. They got a good interior too, but the edges aren't so good.
Yeah,
but they got good corner. They got decent corners, pretty good corners. But if you can work the linebackers and you can work the edges in the run game, I think they should be able to win.
I'm with Captain D on this one. I gotta say, I listen. Here's the interesting stat for Carolina. So they were outscored for the first
really
5 quarters
over that fake ass 30-point win last week.
They got outscored.
Fired their coaching staffs last week, and y'all really sucking on that.
Listen,
be ready for me next week if we win. That's all I got to say.
That's good. Well, that's good, man. Listen, they got outscored 36-13 the first 5 quarters of the season, but they've outscored opponents 49-17 in the last 7. That's an interesting stat.
Fucking Falcons.
Okay, but
Falcons.
Let's be real about the Falcons real quick. The Falcons the previous week, but the Falcons the previous week,
but whatever.
Let's be real. The Falcons handled Minnesota at Minnesota. They whipped that ass, right? Nobody
so
and after the
garbage. That's why.
No, I get it, but still, they weren't. But to be fair, people were talking about Atlanta. Oh, look at Atlanta's defense, they're getting after it. Sneaky good team. And then Carolina goes to Atlanta and wipes the floor with them. Atlanta doesn't even score a point. Now, I'm not saying Carolina is this great team, but they're a sneaky, weird team where they can get hot at certain times. Bryce Young is I don't know what to think about him anymore. He has games where he looks terrible, and he has games where he looks pretty good. They have decent talent, and I'm not saying you guys don't. And this is a game.
No,
you're at home. I like your coaching staff. I get it, but listen. This game's going to be close, and once again, I think I'm sorry. I think every Patriot game almost,
ridiculous,
except against us, is going to be somewhat close. So you guys are going to claw and fight. It's just the way you are right now, and that's okay. You guys are in rebuild mode. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do silly turnovers like you did last week. But Carolina's going to fight you. I'm telling you right now, this ain't going to be a cakewalk.
That's not the problem. I know they're gonna fight because I know we suck. You don't gotta tell me we suck. I know.
Yeah, but this one, I just don't see this being like a cakewalk.
Listen. First of all, they won at home last week, not at Atlanta. First of all,
I thought they were at Atlanta. You sure? Or they were at home? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Jeez. To my house to beat. Nah, you're bugging. If
you're right. They were at home.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, listen, I got the score being 55-10 Carolina. 55-10. I changed my mind. It's not close. Carolina all over. No, I'm joking. So listen, I'll still go Carolina. I'm gonna. And by the way, Juan, I've been picking your damn Patriots since damn week 1.
And now you're doing the classic gambling mistake and going away from someone.
I'm rolling that dice on this one. I'm gonna have to
gambling mistake.
You're right. It's very possible that I got caught up in Carolina's win last week versus Atlanta.
It is.
It could be, but I just feel like Carolina is a weird team, and maybe this weekend,
not a weird team.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if they win,
too, but it's not worse, I promise you. No, if I'm gonna tell you this too, if they do win, you don't have to say nothing. I'll be just like these 2 weeks ago. So, I'm just telling you right now. If they do win, you don't have to say anything.
Tear it all down. Fire it. Juan will be losing his mind. Yeah, so I'm going to go with but we God. I'm going to go high score. I'm going to go high score here. I'm going to go high scoring. Kind of. I'm going to go 30-27 Carolina. Oh, yeah. 30-27. Bryce Young with the game-winning drive.
Juan wants no point to get on 30 points to Bryce Young.
Juan is so upset. He's so upset right now.
Like 38-30, I'm gonna think it's a loss. How the fuck you give up 30 points to Carolina? That's crazy. Well, anyway,
I know I'm a nutty guy, man.
Actual game that we're supposed to be talking about.
Stop saying
Tank Bowl.
Let's see. He'll just put on the injury. Tyreek Hill. Is that really?
What happened?
Or Hill? I don't know. Say Hill just put on the injury report. Oh, you guys need to check that out. You're the Dolphin fans. You check.
I didn't hear about that.
Let's get to this game real quick. We got the Jets and the Dolphins. And I do got something here to show you because why not?
Yeah.
Let's go to some classic.
Yeah.
I'll deal with the copyright later.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, Curtis. This is where Curtis gets excited.
Oh yeah,
Curtis
I got
is
this
here.
on.
Oh, yeah.
I got this on VHS someplace.
Here we go.
VHS. Curtis still dealing with VHS. Oh, here we go. Let's. Oh, that fixed. Oh my God, fixed it. Look at Dan jumping around. Look at that airtime. Oh man.
Good old
Curtis dialed this. Oh, what's going on? Oh, look at Dan, sneaky Dan.
Just a little trivia question. Does anyone see who's in coverage on that play?
I'll tell you what, though. Aaron Glenn. If you look at that play, though, Dan doesn't even fake spike it. He just doesn't even fake it. He just
Wait, is that your coach?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Aaron Glenn, no, come on, man. Come on, Glenn. The
following year you got redemption.
Oh my God.
Back on Dan Marino.
Oh.
So there's that.
It was well executed, but Dan did not even fake spike it. You guys were just so caught off guard.
Yeah.
On there. Yeah, just come on.
Rookie year or his second year in the league, you definitely a rookie mistake or young player mistake on that one.
Oh, Beth is saying, "Yikes, Curtis!" on the VHS that you're still using at your house today.
I'm not using it. I got the tape around someplace. When I was a kid or whatever, the game was on, and I was on a date. I was on a date with Rhoda Elizabeth St. Just, so I had to miss the game, and I put it on tape. And I came home like, I'm glad I went on a date. I'm like, damn, I missed the game for this when I saw the win. So I kept the tape.
He's just best going to say next year.
But kept the tape.
Beta. Beta. Oh, my God. All right, Anthony. We'll start with you. Jets and Dolphins.
Choo-choo.
Uh-oh. Look at Curtis picking on you now.
So,
oh, man.
Right. So this game was very difficult for me. So I feel like I got on both shoulders. I got on one side, got a guy loaded up with Jets gear, screaming out "choo choo," saying Jets got this one. And on the other side, I got someone very serious, looking at the analytics, looking at the teams, looking at how terrible this Jets defense has been, looking at the Dolphins' weapons at receiver. Although I guess Tyreek Hill might be on the injury report. I'm not sure. I was trying to look
personal. It up. He's being investigated for beating his wife. So I
jeez.
For a 10th time. Yeah.
Yeah. 70th time's the charm in the NFL.
Even then, Dolphins still have Waddle. They still have HN. They have weapons on offense. And that's the part that I until this Jets defense shows me that they can stop anything, I just really, really struggle to believe that they will stop anyone. So with this game, but the Dolphins defense is also very, very bad. So and this is a hard word to use when talking about the Dolphins and their coaching staff and their team, but I trust the Dolphins playmakers
that's
a little bit more.
That's a bad
I deleted that word years ago.
Whoa.
I trust them a little bit more than I do with the Jets at this moment. But I do think it's going to be high scoring. I do think both teams, are able to take advantage of the other team's defenses and their defensive struggles. But the only thing I ask is just for improvement out of this defense. You held the Bucs under 30 points. Good job there. 29 allowed. Can you maybe hold another team to let's say 27, maybe a little less than that? And I think that's what's going to happen this game. I think it's going to be 27-21, I think is what ends up being Dolphins. I just, again, this Jets offense, they have their own struggles too that they have to work around. But I think they will be able to put points on the board against the Dolphins. It's just this defense, and it's horrible to watch. It's just very difficult. And I just don't see a way that unless they make major changes to the secondary, which they have made a couple of trades to bring in other players. They just brought in Brownlee from Tennessee, a physical corner. Problem with him is he gets a lot of flags thrown his way. because of his physicality, but he's a guy that can get up in the run, which is something that Brandon Steven has struggled with. The whole thing with Brownlee is I think he's more geared towards a slot type of corner, so I think that's probably what they want to do. He can play outside, but I think the Jets want to put him at slot because additionally, on top of Steven's struggles, I think Michael Carter has also been struggling this season. They do have a rookie in Azaria Thomas. I mean, I'm not saying you change up the entire secondary, but with how bad the secondary has been, could it really hurt? I mean, I don't know. But that's probably what's got to happen here is this defense just has to put up a shock show and play better than they have in the first few weeks for anything to be remotely better. But I think that this isn't the week for it. Going 27-21 Dolphins.
Oh boy, 0-4.
It is what it is. I mean, when you have a bad defense and you don't have the quarterback of the future on your roster, it's difficult. So,
I just hate seeing it. I hate seeing it.
I haven't picked the Jets to win 1 week this week. That's
boy,
right.
I just hate seeing the rest of the East struggle.
On the fence, it's hard. It's hard to find it. It's hard to find a game this team can actually go out there and win.
Poor guys.
Right, do that. I've been in your shoes, and it was always magical.
It was. Whatever. I don't want to hear.
I'll see right through you, bastard.
I'm being nice and very nice. I mean, I feel for you guys. I do. All of you guys. You guys are my buddies, man. I want nothing but success in the East for you guys.
The more you talk, the more you're going to hell, dude. Like, you keep lying to God the way you lying to God.
No,
you appreciate it.
Dude, I want success for you guys, man. I want McDaniel to be respected. All right, Curtis, go ahead talk to us, man. Jets, Dolphins.
It's hard because
they both suck.
So if we get a win, then we're going to hear the whole train from the Dolphins media, and then we're going to be back in it. We're going to be ready. I've had people tell me we're ready for a run. We're going 12-5 or something.
Whoa,
that's crazy. That's crazy
this?
Talk. That just makes it difficult. So if we win, we're pushing ourselves one step away from having at least a top pick to get a quarterback. But if we lose, which I don't like to lose to the Jets, growing up in New York, being a Jets fans, at the very least, I'll notice that. I doubt Ross will get rid of Greer. I think they're just going to promote him. He's still with Garfunkel, the money man, and Ross. They're still going to have control, and they're going to promote the GM from within. They're not going to actually shop for a real GM. So it's going to be all hype, But at least if we lose, there's some certainty, and knowing that there's going to be a house cleaning, they'll probably screw it up because Ross can't change. So it's really like there's nothing good that's going to come out of it. I do think I disagree a little bit. I thought that Brandon Stevens is not bad at getting. He struggled a little bit, but he's a good tackler, and he's 6'1", 215. It's probably why he struggles covering. He's just too big.
So his thing that I've at least identified, one, he doesn't turn his head around. Like when the ball's high pointed, he's not getting his head around to locate it. That's why, especially against the smaller receivers, like Calvin Austin had a field day against this guy because Calvin Austin was basically playing games with him, and to some extent, when he would like fake that the ball was coming, Brandon Stevens would be like looking around, and Calvin Austin would cut across the field, and he would be wide open. That's what happened on one of the touchdowns. He's just getting.
Did you guys give him a big contract?
Yeah, it was I want to say it was like 3 years, 2 years guaranteed, $12 million a year, roughly around that ballpark.
Oh,
I don't know what they were thinking on that one.
My God.
That's a bad sign.
It is a bad signing. But he's not going to be around for long. They're going to need some dead money next year is probably what's going to happen with him. He's been awful. He's around the receiver at all times, which is a good thing. But I don't know if it means anything if even when you're near the guy, he's still making plays on the ball and you're not. That's been his biggest struggle. It's just becoming too much.
Yeah, but I think you got an edge this week. Because we have the two worst guards in the game, and Brewer does play pretty well sometimes, but just not against good DTs and powerful DTs. Will McDaniel have the guts to run the football? Will you guys run the football enough? We're 2.5-point favorites. We've got to win the game, but I think it's going to extend the suffering. I'll say 23-20 Dolphins, but I could see us losing. I could see us losing.
Let me ask you a question, right? And I guess same question, Captain D. If the Dolphins lose, how quickly do you think Ross is willing to pull the trigger? I feel like this is definitely a game that the Dolphins are expected to win, and if they don't win, you got to look immediately at the coach type of situation. Do you think Ross would pull the trigger after a Monday night game on national television, losing to the Jets, losing to your rival, a team that you're supposed to beat in your own home turf?
Last season, I predicted that McDaniel was getting fired in week 4.
By week 4, you said?
Yep. I predicted that last year.
All right, so I think
so you know my stance.
I don't think so. I personally think that Ross and the guys at top set this team up to lose so they could tank for a quarterback. It was like a very covered tank. So I don't think they'll get rid of him till after they play in Spain. I think they want a bad pick. I think the only way they can keep the hustle going is if they get everybody focused on how bad Tua is, and then the next quarterback they get's going to be the savior. That they can put Greer up in the office, and they can promote a GM within, and then they can just hustle everybody to think it's all okay now. We got a new quarterback. But we did it with Tannehill, we did it with Tua, we'll do it with the next guy. So I think they want the high pick. I think is part of the problem, the plan.
So just curious, piggyback off that. If that winds up happening, let's just say let's just say the season ends, you guys are in that top 5, top 10 range in the draft. Do you feel that the Dolphins, whatever they do with their coach or their GM, do you feel like they're going to go ahead and move on from Tua and draft a quarterback? And if you do, I'm guessing there's a way out of Tua's contract then, or you're going to have to eat some they'd
have to eat it. $60 million dead. And negative 11 on a contract.
Or trade him right now. Or possibly trade him if somebody's willing to take him. That's the other option, correct?
I doubt it. But, I listen, my team, what they do is they have the second most highest paid media department. So what they do is they run hustles, and they have enough people in the media that run along with the hustles with them. I'm not saying it's intentional, but because we have such a beleaguered fan base and they want the hope every year, it's just easier to run the hope. And so what I'm seeing now, because I study media and media narratives, the incessant look. When Flores was gone, he had dead bodies in the basement. Ross stood up on the podium and says, Tua's our guy unless the next coach doesn't want him. Meanwhile, he had Peyton and Brady in the background, so he lied to us. So then they don't cover that. That doesn't get covered. And then what do? They have a media thing with McDaniel with the flash on the plane calling Tua, I'm your guy, I love you. And then the whole talk, he's a genius, saving poor Tua, who is devoured by the brutal, vicious Brian Flores. And then they hustle that, and now they're done with them. They're going to move. They're going to make Tua the bad guy. If it wasn't for Tua, and they'll probably move off McDaniel, but they're focusing on McDaniel, saying, look, he's got the team still playing. It's just he's strapped by Tua. And once they get everybody locked on Tua, then they'll get everybody locked on McDaniel. And then they'll say Greer's moving up. He's getting promoted. Then they'll hire the guy they got from the Bears last year, Champ whatever, or Marvin Allen. And then the same guys at the top will control the GM, but they need a transition. They need a narrative. They need a story. They need to paint the picture, and the picture will be, we're getting off Tua's held us back. We're moved off Greer. You see, we finally learned. We're promoting from within. It's not going to change, but we're not going to talk about that. But the top quarterback, we could do it. We're going to get the right guy. And then that will be the narrative that carry us through. So, yeah.
My buddy who does a pregame show with me, Aramis, he believes this. I don't believe it to be true or this will happen. But he believes that your owner will have a talk with McDaniel, sort of like he did with Flores, and basically want him to tank and to go ahead and replace Tua with a top 5 quarterback, and that will save his job. And he's saying he believes that because Flores wouldn't do that, and that's why Flores, tried to, or suing the NFL, or whatever he's doing, or going after your owner because that he was fired because he wouldn't tank. That's his belief. So he thinks McDaniel's not going to be fired as long as he goes by with what Ross wants, and that's the kind of tank the season and make up for the Tua pick. I don't believe that to be true, at least from what I feel. I feel that they have to move on from McDaniel. I just don't.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Tommy, who McDaniel was our C or D option. Nobody wanted to come here. So it's not so much that the Dolphins have options. They don't have options at GM because Greer and all his cronies at the top, they interfere. So no real GM's going to want to come here. So they're going to promote from within. They need narratives to keep people hoping so they can put opium push. And so maybe they feel, because they got AI and analytical teams analyzing all this. McDaniel's a guy that ever goes, he's just like me. That makes me feel good. Flores is a bad guy. So maybe they do that. Or maybe they just say, hey, dude, because look, McDaniel told us last year was the best offensive line he'd ever seen. This year he told us it was the best team chemistry I ever seen. We feel good about the secondary. So who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible.
I mean, if you cut the ties early, though, kind of like the Jets did last year, I always feel that's the best way. It gives your team enough time to,
if you're trying to win.
If you're trying, exactly, it gives you enough time to, you let your interim coach out the rest of the year.
Look, you like Colin Cowherd. He said this. He says the league's made up of three kind of owners. 1/3 wants to win, 1/3 wants to make money, and 1/3 wants control.
I heard this. Yeah.
Ross wants to control, and he makes money on F1. He refuses to let go of control, and winning football is not the number one motive.
Well, then that will be continuing to be your downfall, Miami, if that continues on. But, yeah, well, maybe not, but eventually fans. So then that if he doesn't, the only thing I will say that goes back to the fans. Then the fans will have to, in a way, rebel, not go to the games, not buy the jerseys. And that's easier said than done, because I know a lot of fans are like, oh, fuck this thing. But they still show out. They still go to the games.
Here's the other thing, Tommy. Here's the other thing. Yeah. He's like 86 or 87. So if they can hustle everybody to the new quarterback and go 3 or 4 years, he'll be 90. And he already is going to make it a legacy for his daughter to take over. So when everyone starts rebelling against him, he's like, oh, I'm retiring and my daughter's taking over. And then everybody's going to go, oh, it's different this time. It's just a cycle of hustle and hopium.
Yeah. What do you think, Captain D, before you get on to this game of all that?
It's a hot mess. I mean, it's such a shit show right now with the Dolphins organization. I think I'm just going to move in. I would like to move into the game. It's such.
I don't blame you. Go ahead, Captain. Get into the game.
Mess, but I want to scale back a little bit. And this is rivalry week, and they're bringing out these uniforms, these new uniforms. It's Monday Night Football. It's something we should be excited about. And I want to touch on the rivalry. And I asked Tommy to show that clip because the Dolphins and the Jets do have a great history and a great rivalry. We talk about Testaverde, Lavernius Coles, Jonathan Vilma, all these, and a couple Canes that I mentioned right there that happened to play for the Jets. And it sucked watching that, going to the stadium in your own house. And if the fans or if the chat doesn't know, or South Florida is a melting pot. We have a lot of New Yorkers that live in South Florida, so a lot of times home field, we have a big New York presence in South Florida. So yes, it sucked when we would lose those games and we would hear the JETS, and it was tough. It was really, really tough. But this is a great rivalry. I remember watching Pennington going to the Meadowlands after the Jets cut him, and we won that game. And it was just, it's a really, really good rivalry. It sucks where we're at right now. We're both 0-3, and the Jets are rebuilding, and the Dolphins are just desperately trying to find some type of pulse for this season, and it's tough, but I want the fans, if you're a Dolphins fan and a Jets fan, to embrace it, because that is the history of the rivalry and where we're at now. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be a very, very tight game, but I do have the Dolphins losing this game. I do.
Whoa, Curtis and Anthony.
He's probably right, but I don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah,
Captain D dropping stuff.
Or Curtis.
No.
The Dolphins' offensive line right now is atrocious, and situational down and distance, this could really it's going to be a dumpster fire, and there's no hope right now. We have signed some additional offensive linemen, but this is a glaring issue for the Dolphins, and we just can't figure out completely on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. We did make some progress against the Bills, but on both sides of the ball, but it's just so inconsistent. I think the Jets right now, as far as leadership with Aaron Glenn, I like the vibe that he's got going there right now. The Jets will come down to Miami, and they're going to pull this thing off.
What's the score?
It's going to be a high-scoring game. It is. But I got the Jets 34, Dolphins 27.
Wow.
All right.
Special teams.
Juan?
Special teams.
Wow.
What do you got, buddy?
I've been sitting here listening to everybody. This game is so tough to call.
It's like a funeral.
And I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Because I like the little running that even though Curtis says, I don't like to run enough. But that backup running back might do some damage. But Quentin Williams is such a monster up front. And your guys' interior is so bad. He should wreck the game on his own. But I don't. Since you know what, I'm gonna go. Since Captain D said it, I'm gonna go Captain D. I'm gonna say that the Jets come in there and win. Fuck it. I don't know what else.
Right.
To me, it's too close to call. I have no idea what's gonna happen in this game. I'm gonna go with Captain D. He said they're gonna lose. I'm gonna go with him.
What's the score? What do you got?
I'm gonna go 27-24.
Okay, so yeah, Alex is going. Game is very depressing. 28-24 Jets.
They said
Cecil coming. If the fans don't buy tickets or merchandise, and if the game has low viewership, then being an owner will not be profitable. I mean, but
everyone watches the game.
Yeah, and they're going to always get paid by the So I don't know. And fans say that, but at the end of the day, they're still buying shit. So I don't necessarily believe that. They're always going to be optimistic fans, no matter what, even if they're angry optimistic fans. So I don't know. And he's a billionaire, probably, right? He doesn't care. So we'll see. I don't know. It's not my team. I don't really cover the Dolphins like that. But this game here, I think is going to be close. I don't know what this is tough for me. I'm going to lean. I think I'm going to go with the Jets on this one as well. But man, if the Dolphins win once again, it wouldn't shock me. They are at home. Of course, they got that fucking shitty field where they put the team on the blazing hot, humid side with the sun baking on you. It's night. So that's at
least that night.
Oh, you're right. It's still humid. You're right. It's not. It's a night game. I forgot. So maybe I take that away. Well, God, what fields do you get in this game too? That matters. If the Dolphins can stop the run early and they get the fields of week 2 versus us, then the Dolphins should not have an issue. But if Fields plays like week 1 Fields, where his passing, is a little bit more balanced, he gets some, their run game gets going. He's able to go through the air now because the run opened up the pass. Then, yeah, the Jets could win. So I'll still go with the Jets. I'll go, I think it's going to kind of be high scoring. I'm going to go 33-27 Jets. I'm going to go a little bit high scoring on here. It's a Monday night. Yeah, I'll go 33-27, but geez, it could also be an ugly game too. I don't know. But I'm just tossing out there. 33-27 Jets. And if that happens, boy, Miami is 0-4, and their fans are going to freak. Curtis is going to have himself a field day on his videos. Let's see. Last time played in Miami, he set a rushing record. Fields, he meant. Okay, last time Fields played in Miami, he set a rushing record. Jeez. Okay. Well, we'll see this time around.
Chicago, though. I thought that was in Chicago.
Probably.
Most likely.
Yeah, more likely. All right. So, anybody got any rants this week that they want to get rid of? I know Juan did one earlier, correct, Juan? You already kind of went through yours.
Kinda, yeah.
Did you want to? Do you have another one, or you're done with the rants?
No.
This week.
I'm chilling. I'm zen right
chilling.
now.
You look like you're chilling. Anthony, you have anything to say?
I mean, I kind of went on the rant already, but I mean, I'll kind of dip into it again. This friggin' defensive coordinator has really got me like losing sleep at night. I haven't. In the midst of everything we have going on in life, as far as like getting the house set up and everything like that, I got to deal with friggin' sleepless nights because this defense coordinator doesn't know how to stop anybody from scoring at all. Big kick return should have been a monumental win for this coaching staff. First win for Aaron Glenn. Dance on the sideline should have been like a feel good moment for this team, and the entire fan base and coaching staff. Well, Aaron Glenn at least let down because let's be real. I mean, they just let Tampa walk up the field and get into field goal range with ease. There was no effort on that drive. They were robbed of a play that would have put them inside the 10 to kick the field goal. The refs even tried gift wrapping. They said, "Here, Jets, take this win." That's a catch. We all know it. We saw it. We watched the replay like 15 times. Todd Bowles calling timeout to just beg the refs, just at least take a look at it. Look at these games are recorded on TV. You should have the ability to look at it. Nah, we're good. We're not going to look at it. And still, very next play, a small screen to Shepard where he goes for 20 yards. It was just embarrassing that how simple it is to score points against this defense. And I just really hope that there is a turnaround, and hopefully that turnaround starts this week. But I don't know. This guy was fired after 1 year with San Francisco for a reason. After going to the Super Bowl with San Fran, that's pretty alarming. He was fired after 1 year as a head coach, albeit Arizona was first overall pick. Getting Kyler Murray that year, probably wanted to make a change over there. His resume doesn't speak loudly for how long he's held his positions, at least over the last few years. And I don't think it's going to be a long tenure with the Jets either. I don't know when it happens, but at some point in time, we're going to be talking about Wilkes being on the unemployment line again.
We got a Dolphin fan in the building. Cap for life says the Dolphins are winning Monday night, bro. Once we beat the Jets, they're trading Breece Hall. Book it, bro. What do you think? You guys are getting rid of Hall if you guys lose? You think you guys are kind of doing a little bit of a fire sale, a little bit, getting rid of some of your players?
I don't know if fire sale, but
a little bit. Tiny little sale going on.
I think Breece Hall's a guy you can look at and say he's a free agent at the end of this year. Does his coaching staff want to keep him around? Is he dynamic enough where they believe that they need to keep him around? Are they going to pay him the money it requires to have a running back of his talent on the roster? And do you believe he's worth that money? All those different factors come into mind. This is a new staff, new coaching staff, new front office that, let's be real, when new front offices come in, they look at the entire roster from top to bottom and say, okay, just keep in mind, we didn't pick these guys. Do we want to live with the failures or, the choices of the last regime, whether right or wrong? And they did make some decisions with players on this roster. They made a decision with Garrett Wilson. They figured he's a star wide receiver. Let's pay him. Same with Sauce Gardner. So they are making those decisions around the roster of whether they want to live with some of those past choices. Breece Hall is one that I could see if the losing continues. I don't know if he's a player that you look at and say he's a long-term solution and could potentially be a guy that's on the way out for a trade. Because if you're not going to pay him in the offseason, might as well get something for him now that you can use to improve your roster in the future. So I do see him as a potential trade candidate.
And I think you would have some people calling in for sure for him because I feel like he's a good player. So
I'd like to keep around. The math doesn't make sense, at least right now. They have so many other holes to fill.
Absolutely, but maybe they
answer at the moment.
But like you said, maybe if they're they don't plan on seeing him in the future with the Jets, then why not at least get some either draft capital or a player that can, they see that could be helping you guys, in the future. So
I gotta give a little shout out to Dane. He's in the chat. Danger Zone. He's always in chat.
Yeah, Danger Zone is here.
He's been
go to his page.
He's been calling for the Jets to trade Breece Hall for a while now. He just doesn't see Breece Hall as the same player. I actually was on a show a week ago or a couple weeks ago. He's been off of Breece Hall's bandwagon for quite some time, ahead of the curve on that. He just doesn't see Breece as the premier running back that a lot of others in Jet Nation do see him as. And I'm starting to kind of identify it too. He just, when he has open space, he can take it the distance, but find that open space when it's not there, that just hasn't been his forte.
Maybe a fresh start. I said that earlier in the podcast. Some players need a new beginning. So I don't think he's bad. I think he has the tools.
No, I don't think he's bad. There's something missing.
It just may not. It might be just the Jets aren't for him. It's possible, or maybe you're right on him. But either way, if the Jets don't feel like there's a future there, the best move is to get what you can. And he's on a rookie deal. So it's not like you're losing out on money or something like that, or eating some. Like, just go ahead and handle business, and you worry about your next running back in the offseason, free agency or through the draft. So, Captain, do you have any rants you want to go on this weekend?
Not really. I just want to say good to see everybody on the chat. Salute to everybody on the podcast, the chat. Juan, what's going on with Trevor? Say what's up to Trevor.
Our buddy, man.
It's good to see everyone. You're back, but and go Dolphins, and happy birthday, Tommy. Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're old.
Thank you. Turning 23 years old. Feel good. Real quick too, I'll ask this because Cecil coming in. If Miami does lose, just throwing it out there, will they have a fire sale? Do you think Miami by the deadline is going to start getting rid of some of your players? Just kind of cleaning house a little bit.
There'd be more cover for the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be absolutely. I mean, just curious. Would there? Hill is.
Nobody wants him. He's got
I was just about to say it. Does anybody want? Yeah, I will there be a team desperate? You know who would do it? Maybe Cleveland. Call Cleveland. I'm gonna be real with you. If any team's gonna do it, it might be them.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get anything because there's investigation going on right now, and you don't know when he's gonna get suspended.
Call Cleveland.
For a long time.
You remember Deshaun Watson? The investigation.
Yeah. Call Cleveland. Call Cleveland, Curtis. They have no problem with investigations. Just go ahead and call them. They'll give them an extension for like 150 guaranteed. Right?
That has to be the worst trade of all time.
Oh my God!
Like I said, that's a perfect team to call. Jets, same for you. Go ahead and call them up. They're willing to just give up anything because they're a weird organization. All right, let's get to the Real Men of Genius, and we're going to get out of here so we can watch some college football and enjoy this rest of this day. All right, here we go.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Wedding Band guitar player.
Mr. Wedding Band guitar player.
Any guitar player can rock a packed stadium, but it takes real talent to keep the Wyszynski reception going all night long. Perched on the stage in your undersized tuxedo, you tirelessly churn out tunes from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Keep on rocking.
Sound check? You don't need no stinking sound check.
No.
And even though you've never had groupies, you have bagged the occasional bridesmaid.
Never forget you.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, guitar guy, because every wedding you go to, you're the real best man.
Mr. Wedding Band guitar player.
Bud Light.
We'll play one more. We'll get out of here. Those are great. I love those, man. They got to bring it back. All right, one more and we're out of here. Let's see. What do I got? For you kids? All right, we'll go with this one.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Really, Really, Really Bad Dancer.
Mr. Really, really, really bad dancer.
Arms swinging, knees bending, head bobbing, to no particular rhythm. You're either dancing or you have fleas.
Call me a doctor.
As soon as you hit the dance floor, the taunts begin. Is that all you got, playa? Unfortunately, yes, that's all you got.
Pour it on now.
Who's in the house? Some guy who can't dance. That's who's in the house.
You're a star.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Happy Feet, because you really put the oogie in boogie.
Mr. Really, really, really bad dancer.
Oh God.
Awesome. Too much.
All right, guys. It was a fun show. The chat, you were live tonight, live today. Appreciate you guys rocking with us on Saturday. Juan, Captain D, Anthony, Curtis. I appreciate you guys as always. And we'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. We're out of here. Peace. Go Bills.
Jets.
Go Bills.
Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Going over here? Going over here now? Never get tired.